I'm energized about our session today, and I wanted to give my next guest a chance to introduce himself.
Thanks, Chuki. My name is Dan Lantry, and I'm a Vice President, Associate General Counsel at the American Medical Association. And Chuki, thanks so much for inviting me to talk to you today.
Absolutely. So Dan, tell us a little bit about what you do and broadly how you help generally, given the different stakeholders that you manage.
Sure. I have, fairly broad responsibilities. I support a number of our business units within the AMA. The usual array of work that you would expect an in-house lawyer to do. Of course, a lot of contracts and transactions, a lot of advising and counseling, a lot of work groups and collaboration, both within our Office of General Counsel and, of course, across the enterprise with our colleagues. So, the broad range of things that you would expect. With the entry of COVID in, early 2020, the best laid plans, right? We had to pivot, as did everyone else. And the work relating to COVID sort of dominated the work that we've done over the last, 9-10 months. So that's been incredibly, it's been a busy year, but it's been incredibly rewarding to work with and for an organization that is so in the middle of what's going on right now. And I think we are making a very positive difference in what's going on, at least in this country, if not more broadly. So again, it's really rewarding as a lawyer to do work that has tangible results, and hopefully is helping people every day in their lives, and that is rewarding for any lawyer to see that what we do is not in a vacuum, and it's really relating to tangible, meaningful outcomes that help people.
Yeah, Dan, that's a phenomenal point, and I want to pick up on that. This idea of work that's very rewarding as a lawyer. So you have management responsibilities. In part for the legal department there. And I imagine that you interface with outside counsel. So a lot of the challenges when you think of and really deconstruct the relationship between outside counsel and in-house counsel comes down to communication, right? But give me a sense and a set of recommendations, Dan, given your successful experiences over the years with how you manage outside counsel relationships, and just what are ways that you tend to improve those relationships moving forward?
Sure. So I would say there's a couple of themes here that can be either positive and constructive or not. One is knowing the client. It's a challenge, for any in-house lawyer to get to know when they come into a new organization to get to know and understand not only just how it's governed and how it's organized and what the business units are or divisions of it, but how it operates, what the culture is, what the risk profile is. There's a lot of different elements there. That's got to be incredibly tough for outside lawyers to be serving all the different external clients that they have. And having to have some insights, but we do look for that and we do expect that, and we're lucky that in many of I would say we are not a heavy external law firm user, thankfully, but we do have important and mostly long-standing relationships with outside lawyers and firms, and we both benefit from, and I would say, expect those lawyers and those firms to know who we are, what we do, and what we care about, and how we think about certain issues.
Yeah.
And so that's a really critical, I think, component for both in-house and external counsel is what is the client concerned about? What do they need? Even if they don't ask for it, right? They may come to you and ask for something.
Yeah.
You need to ask the why question and the follow-up question and really get to the heart of what it is that they need, even if they aren't able to articulate it or may not fully understand it at the time.
Yeah, so put yourself in the shoes of outside counsel, right? These private practitioners, Dan, and they want to earn better relationships with in-house counsel. You made this point on they need to do their homework, their due diligence to know the client, get a better sense of the culture, the risk profile. How would you go about that? So is there a recommendation to set up maybe just a quick insights conversation where it's more on the professional networking side? It's less intensive around, here's my pitch, here's what I sell. What are some ways, both formally and informally, to start that process of knowledge share to gain the context for, the culture, the profile? And again, I know a lot of that has to do with relationships, but I would love your perspective on that.
Sure. I would say that relationships with outside counsel need to be based on a mutual investment by both parties. I think that it's not helpful if the client or the prospective client thinks that they're going to be on the clock every minute when they're having a conversation, particularly if it's to educate the client, the lawyer about the organization. On the other hand, I think that a current or prospective client needs to take the time, invest the time to help counsel understand what their needs are, their wants are, their again, all the things we talked about before.
Yep.
And that ought to be an investment and viewed as an investment to something that would hopefully be a long-standing, durable, and continually evolving and strengthening type of relationship.